Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to another video with the cheesy background of a fish tank, just so I don't bore you with my lame ass setup. Today I want to talk about money. So if you're the type of person that saves money, it's good to learn what you can do with the money that's just sitting there. Because for sure, a lot of people don't know that just having money in the bank sitting there could be just losing value. It does lose value. Having $100 now will not be the same as having $100 10 years from now. Because this is all due to inflation, right? The government prints money and there's a lot of money in circulation and things get more expensive. During this 2020 pandemic, we had $2.2 trillion pumped into the economy. Some people say it's not really necessarily like that because some people were not getting paid, so by the government pumping money in, it's kind of like compensating for that. But at the end of the day, you know, that money that was printed out of thin air is technically debt. The government could do whatever the heck they want, but essentially we're gonna have to pay it back in some form or another, either through increasing inflation so that they could pay back the current debt with cheaper money. It's simple, right? It's like, say I bought a water bottle for $100. I don't know, $100. Say I can't pay it back right now, right? But I borrowed money and I make $1 an hour. I could barely pay it off, but thanks to inflation, my wages will go up, therefore making it easy to pay off $100. If there was no inflation, I would be making the same amount of money and it would take me long to pay off this $100 bottle with my $1 an hour income. Once you borrow debt, it stays the same. It's like, unless you're accruing interest, unless you're accruing fees, you know, once you borrow $100, it stays at $100 principal. The good thing about inflation is your income can go up, could go up, or may it could stay down. But if it does go up, you know, debt stays the same, income goes up, so it's easier to pay off old debts. Government likes to do that. Borrow money now, print lots of money later. But what am I going with this? So what I'm going with this is that you need to figure out where to put that excess money so that it accrues income. Could be real estate, could be assets and stocks, commodity, I don't know. That's the fun part about knowing about money. You get to learn all these things. You know, having that money lets you be creative so that you can find ways to make it grow. The main point about this video is that $1 invested now in something secure and proven to return you, let's say 10% a year, in 30 years that $1 turns into 17. So every $1 you invest now turns into 17 30 years from now by investing it. If you invest $10,000 right now, those $10,000 becomes times 17, 170,000. 10,000 to 170,000 in 30 years, 10% return. Invest 100,000. 100,000 turns into 1.7 million in 30 years. But that's if you invest it all at once. 100,000 right now, 10,000 right now, not like 100 here, 100 there, 100 there, 100 there. That's gonna reduce it to, like, for the math, for a $300 a month invested recurringly for 30 years ends up coming to be about like $500,000, something like that. But let's say, you know, the 300 that were saved over 30 years, which is 300. So 300 times 12 times 30 years equals $100,000. So $100,000 invested over time rather than invested all at once is a big difference. If you invested over time, little by little, until 30 years pass, 300 a month, it comes out to like $500,000, right? 108,000 will become 500,000 if it's invested over time. If 100,000 is invested now, like I said before, it's gonna become 1.7 million in 30 years. That's a difference of $1.2 million difference. $1.2 million difference. That's why it's good to make a lot of money now, have a job that pays a lot now, so that you can invest the excess money, and in 30 years from now you have a big difference of how much money you make. You invest $1 million now, you have 17 million in 30 years if you have some money in the right places. That's for you to have fun and investigate where that money can go, whether it's real estate, stocks, mutual fund, I don't know, a business. You figure that out. That's the fun part. I'm not here to give you advice. I'm just telling you what could happen to that money that's just sitting there, money that's just sitting around, this is losing value. I shouldn't even have it on a table, you know. I shouldn't have cash. It loses value. This is silver. It can hold its value. It fluctuates, but people demand this. It's used for industrial reasons, jewelry, and it is, you know, this is worth about this. In the future, this is gonna go down in value. It's still gonna look like this, but now you're gonna need maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 of these to buy the same one in the future. This is getting weaker. This is staying the same. This is not necessarily an investment. This is just holds the purchasing value of money. It just reserves it, right? This is protected against inflation. Not guaranteed. Do not take my advice. This is what I believe. I could put this into stocks that perform well, not stocks that just go down, to hold the value or to make profit, right? But holding money just sitting there on the table, like each year, this is becoming 2% weaker. So $100 is actually worth $98 next year. So these are 600. 600 is actually gonna be $588. Purchasing powers wise, I mean, the numbers don't change on there. It's still 600, but you know, same analogy. You won't be able to buy the same amount of things with past money. This money could buy what it could buy right now, but it will not be able to buy the same thing in the future because it will cost more. This will be weaker. So it's not necessarily things are costing more. This is getting weaker. Why is it getting weaker? Because it's being printed like crazy. It is just printed out of thin air. Where does it come from? Federal Reserve just turns on the printing press and like voila, here's all that money. Banks do fractional reserve banking, which lets them not holding up. Like they could hold this $100 and lend out 1,000 or 10,000. So they don't even need to have that much cash in their banks. They just need a little bit and they could lend out a lot. They create money out of nothing. It's crazy. There's the type of economy we live in. You need to realize and have fun with life. Have fun. Be creative. Money isn't everything. Money is just a tool. You can use it. If you lose it, hey, it was worth the try, right? Worth the experiment. That's the opportunity cost. It costs you money not to invest. It's costing you 2% a year not investing your money. I'm not telling you not enjoy the money, because you could enjoy the money. That's fine. That's life, you know, that's great. But if you have excess cash, it's losing 2% a year. How about putting in something that gains you 8% a year? I should have taken this advice long ago, right after graduating. I wouldn't put the money in the markets. I wouldn't invest it. Otherwise, I would have had a good amount of money right now in stocks and stuff like that. But this is what it takes. It takes learning. And I missed out on a lot of stuff, but I know more things are gonna come, more opportunities. That's all I have for this video. I'll see you on the next one. Subscribe, like, ciao, ciao, bye.